dating someone for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, you're a placeholder. That's all you are. That's all you are. So this girl who lives in New York, she's talking to John Deloney, and she's like, "Oh, well, I just need some more answers, and I want closure." You don't need closure. You need to open up your eyes. Men know. We know exactly what our intentions are with you. It takes all men less than a year to know exactly what we want to do with you romantically. We may like your companionship. We may like we may like the physicality. I'll just use that word for TikTok. We may like talking to you. We may want to marry you. We may just want to date you. We may just want to, be friends with benefits. But we know exactly what our intentions are with you. We know it from the beginning. So when this woman says, "Well, for 7 years, I just, I wasn't quite, sure. I don't know what happened. I don't know where this came from." I have a ridiculous thing. It's things like this that irritate me. They irritate the hell out of me. Because it's so easy to see. And I talk about this a lot. On my blog, which is on my website, I wrote The Cause and Prevention of Shut-Up Rings. About once a week, I'll write a blog about kind of anything, whatever I feel like. Let me tell you what I wrote. There is a relatively new term known as a shut-up ring. In a nutshell, a shut-up ring is an engagement/wedding ring given to the woman by the man to quiet the pressure of potential marriage or a potential proposal. Ladies, you must understand that we as men know very quickly what our intentions are for you. It may be a simple one-night stand. It may be a short-term fling. It may be a friends with benefits type of relationship. It may be marriage. The point is, men know. The women who are recipients of shut-up rings are either ignorant of how men operate and or are ignoring what their gut is saying and don't want to start all over. Now let me back out on what I was reading just now. Okay. Ladies, you know your biological clock exists. And I believe there's a part of you that fears, you know what, I put so much time in this relationship, I don't want to start over. I'm afraid that all this time that I've invested is going to be a waste. Well, let me tell you this. Let's say you're at 3 years in the relationship. 3 years. 3 years. And you're thinking, I don't know if this is... I don't think anything's going to come from this. You've already spent 3 years doing one thing. After 3 years, you guys already should have been engaged and already married. You guys should already have the label of husband and wife. If at 3 years you're saying, you know what, do I want to keep going? Well, I don't want to waste the time that I've already invested. Okay, but do you want to do 3 more of the same years? Do you want to make it 6 years? Because he's going to do the same thing. He has already shown you that you're simply a placeholder for me. As I continue to scout the landscape, I like having you here. I like having the access to you. I like having your companionship. But I'm still looking. I don't want to marry you. I don't want to be with you long term. I don't. Because if I did, I would have put a ring on it. Like Beyonce said. And I don't agree with Beyonce on a lot of things, but one thing she got right is if you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. The reason he doesn't put a ring on it is because he doesn't like it. So he's still scouting the landscape. You're 3 years in, and you're still looking at your left hand. You're like, I still don't have anything. Damn. Why? Because he doesn't want you long term. Do you want to continue down the path that you're going on? Because you're already on a certain trajectory. He's not going to just wake up randomly and realize, I think I want to marry her. That doesn't happen. In 6 months, we know, at most a year. Okay, let me go back to my article. Okay. Ladies, deep down, your gut is telling you what his intentions are. Your gut knows if he wants to marry you or string you along. Listen to your intuition. So what can you do to ensure you don't become a recipient of these rings? The first rule is to know what every kind of relationship you are in. Your relationship must be clearly and emphatically defined. You are his exclusive girlfriend, fiance, or wife. If he can't provide a one-word label of who you are to him, move on. He should be able to put a label on you within a month. It is more than okay to ask a man, what are we? If he's serious about you, he can label you, no problem. If he can't or won't, he's not serious about you. The second rule has 2 parts. The first part of rule number 2, is to date no longer than a year. After 30 to 65 days, if he hasn't proposed, you need to break up with him. No questions asked. If he has proposed within a year, congratulations. The second part of rule number 2 is to be engaged no longer than a year. If he doesn't marry you after a year of being engaged, you need to break off the engagement, no questions asked. Men who are serious about you don't like holding the boyfriend or fiance title very long. Men who are serious want the title of husband, and he wants you as his wife. Until next time. That's my blog post. That's what I wrote. Very simple, very easy, quick, short to the point. Takes at most 3 minutes to read. But that's what needs to be understood. Well, I don't want to lose. I've just invested so much time in this relationship. What does that mean? What does that mean? There's not going to be a point down the road where he's like, you know what, I changed my mind, I do want to marry her. That doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Oh, I wish I had seen the signs. I don't understand. I need closure. You got your closure. You got your closure. Remember, behavior is a language. Actions are a language. Inaction is also a language. What someone says and what someone doesn't say is a language. What someone does and what they don't do is also a language. And if language and if behavior and actions are, if that's all language, what is it telling you? What is the message here? He's telling you he doesn't want to marry you. He doesn't want to be with you long term. If women just understood this and lived by it, gosh, your lives would just be so much better. No, I'm in a situationship. If a man, let me say this. A man will be very clear on how he sees you, on how he defines you. Oh, we're just looking to see, where this goes. We're gonna see what happens. That means he's not serious about you. He will make it very clear. Oh no, this is my girlfriend. This is my wife. This is my fiance. I've shared this story before on the podcast. I met my wife in December of 2022. I've known my wife only for 2 years. Okay. I met my wife in December 2022. I told her in January of 2023, I said, keep your options open. I said, you get with me, we'll be married within a year, and we'll have a child in 2 years. We got together in March of 2023, and we got married last December. We're about to hit 1 year of marriage in a few weeks. We were together a total of 9 months. 9 months. And I told her beforehand, these are